What's up, everybody? It's PJ here with the SRNA drip, and today is going to be a pretty short video about how I manage my finances while in CRNA school. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to address is taking out loans, and I took out the maximum amount of loans that I could. One, because I just would rather have more than I need than not have enough in this current time. And I know some people feel very different about that, and they would like to just take out whatever they need at this point, and they do a lot of financial planning and very, very in-depth about how much is in their savings versus how much of loans that they would need to try to keep the balance down between how much money they're taking out each semester, which is perfectly fine. If you are you have everything aligned in that way, then that is something that could definitely work for you, where you don't have to take out the max amount of loans, because that is the goal, is to take out as less as possible to have to pay back. I just felt like, for me, let me just go ahead and just take it out and try to manage myself in this moment, and then pay it back later, and have a great plan about paying it back within 3 to 5 years. Now, another thing, I only have one bank account at this point, and then I have like 2 credit cards, which that's a whole nother situation. I don't really use those for credit card purposes, but I have one account that I put my refund check into, and I have a checking and a savings. So what I usually do is I'll put everything into my savings, and I'll pull out what I need to into my checkings. Something about having money in my checkings, to me, registers as I have money to spend, and that is not the case. So I try to keep as little as possible in my checkings and keep everything in my savings, and only pull out when I need to, because if I just see a big number in my checkings, I'm going to spend money, and that's not what I want to do. So that's something that works for me. It may work for you guys, where it's a mental thing, and the less you see in your check-ins, the less you'll spend, hopefully. For unexpected expenses, they will happen. They are going to happen. And just to give you a list, I've had to buy a new computer. I've had to buy like 2 new computers. My luck is just horrible. So I had to buy 2 new computers. I've had to get things done on my car that was unexpected. Was not expected to do that. I've had to buy new headphones for when I'm in the library. I've had to buy a lot of paraphernalia, scrubs. I've had to buy Apex, and a lot of schools are using Apex. So be prepared to pay for Apex, because it is not cheap. Hopefully your school gives you some sort of discount, but once you have it, and it is a great tool for school. It is a great tool to study for boards, so it's definitely a necessity. Your school may use something else like Valley or the other programs that are designed to help out with board prep. You're gonna have to pay for travel for AANA meetings and state meetings and national meetings that you must attend as a requirement for your program. So those are expenses that are not in the tuition that will happen, and you have to make those things work, because you need to attend the meetings. You need Apex. You're gonna need scrubs. Those things are things that you just got to get it done, and it may have not been budgeted for, and you need to make it work. And then another point I want to touch on is making transfers within your bank. Now, every institution is different. I know for me, my institution allows, I think, 6 transfers per month. So that leads me to the point of, you have to really plan for your expenses. Yeah, it's okay to have everything in your savings, and then as stuff comes up, you pull it into your checkings to spend. But if you can only make 6 transfers a month, you really need to make sure that you're planning as far as, okay, how much money do I need to spend for this part of the month? Is it the beginning part of the month where I need to pay for rent? I need to pay for utilities. I need to pay for, bills. If it's that part of the month, then you need to make sure that you plan to take out enough from your savings to cover all of that. and then still be able to eat and still be able to drive and get gas. So those are the things that you have to kind of like meticulously plan out for, so that you're not constantly transferring money, because your bank is gonna flag you, and sometimes they'll penalize you with the fee, or they may say, hey, we see that you've made over 6 transactions from your savings. We're going to go ahead and convert this into a checkings account. And that's something that for me, I definitely don't want, because like I said, if I see the money, I'm going to want to spend it. So be leery of that with your institution. Just kind of look it up or call them and see what the lick reads for that. That also leads me into why it's very important to eliminate a lot of expenses that you do not need beforehand, because you're going to want to spend as least money as possible, right, while you're in school. If you have all of these reoccurring bills alongside the unexpected expenses, you're more than likely going to have to keep pulling money into your account, because you're going to say, shoot, I forgot about this bill. And then something else pops up for school and you're like, shoot, I forgot I need to pay for this. So you're going to have to keep utilizing that transfer feature on your bank account app, or going into the bank to make a transfer and taking that walk of shame. And that's just something that you don't want to do, because you have other things that you can be focusing on. So before school starts, or maybe in the very, very early stages of school, when you see what your schedule is going to be like and what your financial obligations are going to be like, then you need to start planning how to minimize and eliminate as many unnecessary bills as possible. And a great way to do that is to just list everything out and to literally scratch off, like, I really don't need this, and I could probably make this bill a little bit lower. And do that. Have it physically in front of you. That way you can easily kind of figure out what would be the best thing to do in that situation. And then the last thing I want to talk about is really recognize what your Achilles heel is for spending, and try to stay away from it as much as possible. Now, for me, it's a little bit more difficult, because mine seems to be food. Mine seems to be eating out, going to Chick-fil-A, getting a Southwest salad with extra chicken and a sweet tea with like ice, large, apple cider vinaigrette. It just is about $12.99 for the salad, plus the tea, which is like another, $2 maybe. So I'm looking at $14 every time I go to Chick-fil-A. It adds up. I'm trying to tell you, it adds up. So, and I've been really good about trying to meal prep and trying to, buy food from the grocery store and just eat that. But it's just something about the Southwest salad I just don't understand. It's just so good. And then the chicken, and then when you put the little bit of the stuff, the crunchy stuff that comes on, it's just so good. But anywho, so so really, my point of this video was to really get you to understand that you really need to be physically looking at what your expenses are going to be like, and manage them according to what your income is going to be. And with most schools, you're not going to be able to work, so your main income is going to be your refund checks, and that number may differ. As I said in previous videos, that number may differ based off of what your school considers you to be obligated for. If you need to have insurance and you're not working, you're going to have to get them through the school if you don't have a spouse or a partner that can put you on the insurance. So that's a big expense that takes a lot out of your refund check if you have to do that route. So things like that is what you should be thinking about when you want to manage your expenses, and eliminating bills, eliminating credit card bills, eliminating a lot of reoccurring Fingerhut and all these different accounts and stores and store cards. Those things need to be on the list out. So that's all that I have. And if you guys have any suggestions or anything to add, put it down in the comments, or I read my comments a lot and I do get back to you guys. I'm very interactive. You can hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, anything, and just let me know what your thoughts are. Comment, like, subscribe, and with that being said, I'm out.